Does this sound like you? You bought into that IPO they told you was a good investment, and now you're down 20, 30, maybe even 40%. You try to buy the stocks they talk about in groups or on social media.
You've even taken a chance on the ones your advisor sends you via email.
But after 2 years, that IPO, that stock is still down.
There's a clear difference between investing and making a good investment decision. So if you're stuck, what you need to do is learn how to invest the right way.
In our Learn Level 2 program, we teach you how to build a $1 million investment portfolio. To make money investing, you need to know which stocks are right for your investment strategy, know when is the right time to buy and sell, and know how to build the right portfolio for your investment style. This program will help you invest meaningfully while making money. When you sign up, you'll get monthly guidance on how to invest and make money while doing it. You'll have a community of investors on the same journey as you to support you, and you'll have resources to help you stay on track. Join our 2026 cohort so you can get back on track with your financial goals.
All right, everyone, good to see you again. I'm going to try and knock out this one as a video that I wanted to cover for some time now. I'm going to start with one that I think is going to be very obvious. So this video is going to be about, well, let me probably set the stage for it first. I'm just realizing that if I jump into it, you may not understand the full context of maybe why I'm doing this video, why I think this video is important. This kind of goes into what my thesis is going to be for the year, right? So my overall investment approach going into next year, I'll cover this in depth in another video, but there are a few things that I'm expecting to take place next year. I kind of alluded to this a little bit on the Stocks to Watch that we did yesterday. If you missed that, be sure to check it out. So I think the first 2 quarters of next year is going to be challenging. I think we're going to see negative growth for those 2 quarters. I think we're going to see companies that will typically do well, that are in industries that aren't going to be benefiting from what's needed to rebuild. Those companies are going to struggle. I think those companies are going to report losses. I think profits are going to be cut by some industries. I think certain sectors are going to outright struggle or lose money, right? And then I think there are stocks that are positioned to do well going into next year. I think there are stocks that are set up to be kind of market leaders. I think there'll be a basket of stocks. I'm not going to cover all of them here. I'm saving some for another time, right? So I'll go over the obvious ones in this video. There are some not so obvious ones that I think if you are, paying attention, you'll see them. It's a kind of thing that I'm saving something, right? I have to save. I can't give everything out in these videos. I have to save something for our level 3 discussions. So I'm just sharing the obvious ones here tonight. And so feel free to let me know which stocks you think will be a part of the rebuilding for the country. I'll go through 3. Yeah, I'll spend maybe about 8 minutes covering 3 different stocks, and then we'll see, where we are at the end of this video. But let me know which stocks you think will play an integral part in the rebuilding of the country, right? So which stocks do you think will be important to Jamaica's rebuilding? All right, and I'll leave that up so those who join can just tell me. All right. So the first one, the obvious one, the one that everybody has been kind of looking at for a while, is Carib Cement. Now, I think Carib Cement is probably going to be, saying to somebody that I think this is one of those companies that could maybe do $200 next year. Oh, by the way, you may hear me throw out some random prices here. These are just my expectations. Again, I'm not telling you what to do here. Completely up to you. The stocks that I'll cover, I'm not currently a shareholder of. I have no skin in the game for any of these. I have my strategy that I think is going to work. That's already been set out. I think I'm already well positioned. But I still see it as a good way to practice, to watch, to see if I can accurately see where the trends are going. And this is one of those that this is one of those situations, right? I mean, I don't need any other disclaimer than to say I'm not currently a shareholder. That may change in the future, but as at this point of this video, I'm not, right? So Carib Cement is first up. I think that as you heard Chike mention last night, this was one of his stocks to watch. We have seen some growth. So year to date up 35%, quarter to date 18%, and month to date 8%. So there've been some growth, certainly post Melissa. If you notice here, it was hovering around $90, and then after that we saw it. So first we saw a run up of Atlantic, Lumber, some of those stocks, and then I think some persons kind of took profit from those, and some of it found its way to Carib Cement. I think there are some persons who have been kind of back and forth about Carib Cement. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Whenever you see me do that, it's because I'm nursing a little cold here. So yeah. So we saw after the end of that first week after, right? You notice here after like that first week, then person started to pay more attention to it. But for some persons would have been added to their positions, I believe, during that time. And then it started to make a move, but there's this thing that I noticed as well again, where there's some persons who I think some people are in such a rush to take profit, right? This is not speaking about everybody, of course, but I think that this is an example. I'm sure there are persons who saw this price, go down, and it was like, oh, the move has gone, time to move on from Carib Cement, etc., etc. Not really understanding what the big picture is, right? I won't get deep into that. This is not a class. This is just a YouTube video, and so I'll leave it there. But we've seen some consistent building, over the last couple of weeks. I think this will continue. Now, I think this company is an interesting one. I won't get into the strategy. I think that would make sense for it. Again, this is not that type of video. I'm just going to talk about the impact that I think the stock will have, and just going over the most recent numbers, that kind of thing. All right. So this is their Q3 numbers. Yeah, Q3. So I have one more report to come out for the year, which would be their Q4, which I think, of course, will be a good quarter for them. That report will be due in February. And then, of course, the revenues, they did, I think this is billion, right? 27 billion for last year. And they're already at 24 million. So certainly we know that they're going to surpass the numbers for last year. They did 8 billion in Q3. So if they do the same 8 billion and the 30, they're up at least 10% on last year. I think they're going to do more than 10. I wanted to see what their Q4 over the last few years have been. Profitability wise, Q4 has been somewhat consistent for them over the last few years. Q3 is the one where they would typically struggle. Q3, I think, is usually within our hurricane season. So I think that's normal. Q4 has been consistent for them, about $1 billion in profit. So the profit that they would have done for this here was 2, right? So I think that would mean from a profitability perspective, we'll see an increase there. So they did 5.9 billion in profit for last year. If they do another 2 billion here, they'll do $1 billion better on this one. And their dividend has been fairly consistent. They've done 1 dividend per year. Would they change that? I don't know, right? It depends on how much cash they have. One of the things Chika raised yesterday, which I think is a very valid point. No, it wasn't Chika. It was somebody in the chat who said that maybe there'll be an imposition of like a royalty or an increase in royalty by parent company. I don't know, right? That'd be interesting to see whether or not they do that. But you know, they announce 1 dividend per year. That's a part of why this is not necessarily a stock that interests me, meaning I don't treat it as a growth stock. I would look at it for something different. And so since the yield on this one, you know, $2 to $100, that's clearly 2%, and it's $115. So that yield is way less than that. This wouldn't be a dividend stock to me. Could they pay a better dividend? I think so, but I'd have to do that calculation. All right. So the things that I'm looking for, I'll keep this simple here for each company. I'm looking for admin expenses, how those are tracking for the year. I think Q4 for some companies are typically higher due to, like, you know, bonuses, things like that. So these expenses may be higher for the quarter. And then we have for the 9 months, operating profit is actually a little bit less than last year. And then, or am I reading this wrong? Okay, operating earnings before other income and other expenses. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing there. And then earnings before tax is actually up 6.4 billion. And then we have, you know, taxation there, leaving them with about 4.8. So the EPS was 5.68, just slightly down from where it was. And I think they're going to beat the profit for the year. And I think they're going to beat the revenue for the year. I think that's clear, because if they do another 8 billion here, then they should, right? I wanted to check their outlook. Did they write an outlook for the year? Let me check that. I've always thought their report layout has been interesting. Let me just read this here. So Carib Cement continues to make strong progress towards its strategic objectives with notable operational and financial achievements following the successful commissioning of its plant expansion project in June. During the third quarter, the company recorded historic highs, right, in both clinker and cement production volumes, underscoring the enhanced capacity and efficiency delivered by the upgraded operations. So it reached a record 93,000 metric tons, surpassing previous highs. Cement production also achieved a new milestone, right? They're already achieving record highs, and we didn't have the hurricane yet, right? So combine these figures, you know, represent a volume increase. And then the increased production capacity has enabled Carib Cement to reliably meet domestic demand and resume exports to regional markets. Notably, the company shipped 3,000 metric tons of cement to Curacao, right, in support of its expanding construction sector. This is one of those overlooked things, I believe, for them here. That's certainly a good thing to see. And then customer engagement also reached a record high with an average pickup time of 100 minutes, demonstrating improved service and logistics performance. 100 minutes, that's an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I guess that's good. As Carib Cement enters its final quarter, the company remains committed to operational excellence, safety, performance, and sustainable growth. These efforts are aligned with its long-term strategy of delivering value to shareholders, and so on and so forth. All right. So, yeah. So I think, again, obvious one to see here. And so, yeah. Let me look at their cash. So they have 9 billion in cash. Let me calculate how much they usually pay in dividend here. So the dividend amount that they normally pay is, they paid $2 this year, $2.09. And the shares outstanding is 851,136,591. They usually pay a $1.7 billion dividend. I think they can pay more. They can at least double that dividend, I think, right? So that 2 cents here, if they should double that dividend, that'd be appealing to me. It's not appealing to me now as a dividend stock. And as I said, I don't really consider it a growth stock. 114. 1. So if they double that, that's 3.6%. I think they can double it. I think they can pay at least, I'd say a $4 billion dividend. Let me divide that by 851,136,591. Yeah, a $4. So if they do another dividend, so let's say they do a $2.03 dividend, $2.03 dividend in March, because they normally do their dividend around July, right? So let's say they do twice per year. So let's say they do a $2, even $4. I think that'd be much better. A more attractive dividend. It would certainly push the sentiment for the stock even higher. So that's what I'm thinking there. So Imran says, if they double the dividend, won't it affect how much they pay as royalty fee? Why would it? The royalty fee is set. So regardless of how much they pay out in dividend, the royalty to CEMEX is being paid on revenues. So I'm just looking at the amount of cash that they have. And if they're going to be generating even more cash because business will be growing, revenues, profits will be growing, pay out that cash, right? Anyway, that's the first company. I wanted to go through at least 2 already. So the next one, most obvious one, of course, is, hold on a sec again here. All right, so NB Lee says, I believe some years ago they paid a royalty to parent while starving other shareholders. Certainly that was one of the things that led to the stock going from about 140 or 150 down to about 60 something dollars, right? I was a shareholder during that time, and that certainly I remember that very well. I think that left one of those unpleasant tastes in my mouth, for lack of a better phrase. But I mean, I think it's years ago. I mean, I think they've learned from that. Orville said, hope that they don't increase the royalty. I mean, they can if they want to. It certainly would make sense. I mean, so here's the thing. the royalty amount is always pegged to revenue. So if they're making more money, then their CMEX is gonna get more cash anyway, right? Because if they're doing more in top line, because I think the royalty is 2%, right? So let's say CMEX got 2% of this last year, right? 27 billion. So they got 540 million. I don't know if they count it in US. Let's say they got 3 million US last year, right? When a company is doing, I think they'll do above 30 billion, maybe even more, because if they do another 8 here, that's 32. Let's say they do even as much as 35, 36, right? 36 billion times the 2%. So they're still going to get more money. They're gonna get 4.5 million US. So they don't necessarily need to increase the royalty. They're gonna get more money because the company is making more money. So that's the thing with a royalty. As sales increase, the money that they're getting is gonna increase as well. So they don't necessarily need to increase it. It's pegged off revenues. So it's not like it's based on profits. So there's that. I don't think it will. All right. So that's the first one, I think. So the next obvious one, I think everybody is thinking about is Atlantic Hardware. So Atlantic Hardware, I think investors have been certainly bullish on this one since a hurricane, since the date here. I remember looking at it this day, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the day when the JSE reopened." And so, what I saw that day, I was like, "Yeah, this is getting ready to go," and so it did. And then some recovery, of course, but it's almost back to where it was before. 138 is not very far from 145, right? So I think Atlantic is going to be one of those that do very well for next year. Really depends on their numbers though, right? So for the 8% quarter to date, it's not a year old on the exchange, so you're not going to have any year to date data. Let me check this here. Orville says greedy can increase. I mean, they're gonna get more money. It's pegged off revenue. So, I mean, again, it's their prerogative. If they want to, they can. All right. When did this report come out? November 14th. So let me see what the outlook says. Looking ahead, Atlantic is well positioned to sustain its growth trajectory. With a strong balance sheet, reduced finance costs, and improved profitability, the company has built a solid platform to continue the expansion. Our focus remains on pursuing new growth initiatives, enhancing customer service, strengthening our supply network, broadening our product portfolio, and investing in technology and infrastructure. This tells me nothing. All right. So shareholders, as looking for your name, Orville. I thought I'd say Orville here in the top 10. I thought this was you, Orville. You know, with the one of those. Oh, these are our directors. I thought one of these would be you, Orville. You only need 10 million to be in the top 10. That's interesting. Construct Group, Lumber, General Accident here, JMMB. Okay, JMMB. Oh yes, JMMB brought them to market. That's why. Because I was saying that's interesting. JMMB has 160 million shares overall. JMMB Pension Fund, NCB Insurance. JMMB is a lot in the top 10. Yeah. So 93% in the top 10, right? So let's look at their cash. They have only 24 million in cash. That's not a lot of cash. I suppose they'll have more soon, but they're probably still, I think they're still paying some debt. I don't remember how much that is. Current portion of long-term liabilities, 110 million. So they do have some debt to still pay down. So we can expect to see that going down over time. So yeah, let me go to P&L. So they have here 9 months, 1.2 billion. So that it was not impressive in terms of growth from last year, but I suspect this will change for Q4. I'm waiting to see what the Q4 numbers look like, because they did 1.6 billion for the entire year last year. I think that's a reasonable assumption that they will surpass that. I'm always concerned about admin expenses for this type of company. So we see here that is, so in the 9 months they paid what they paid last year. In terms of that, finance costs would have been reduced because they got some IPO funds, and they're not gonna be paying taxes. So I think this is probably just residual. They won't be paying taxes going forward, so it would be blank like this. So they'll be able to net more in terms of, so they paid 27 million in taxes last year, so that is gonna go up. So their EPS growth should be, they did 56 cents. So yeah, I mean, a lot more still to be desired there, I'd say, right? Oh, so that's it. So simple enough. Let me go back here. So yeah, I think Atlantic has the network, it has the partnerships, it has the everything that it would need to be a part of the rebuild here. I think that with its network, with, let me go back to the IPO prospectus. Oh, there was some, you notice I was at, the debt. So a couple of things that I'll say for them. I want to go straight to yeah, this is the part that I want to focus on here. All right, so this speaking to product line. So again, note the title of the video, right? Which stocks are going to be a part of the rebuild, right? So so they distribute a ton of brands here. That's listed here. You need WD-40 at all times. Stanley, Skill, Corona, I don't know any of these, but if you're one of those DIY persons, you'd know. And so they have over 2,400 products, most of which we're going to need to rebuild our homes. Over the past 30 years, they've developed and maintained strong reputation among its customers as a company that offers high quality products at very competitive prices. Their customer base, right? This is the focus. Hardware stores, contractors, developers, and retail customers, with over 1,000 of those being repeat. So I think their customer base is going to grow. I think their reach in terms of the hardwares that they support are going to grow. The contractors that work with them are going to grow. And so, definitely a very integral company in the rebuild. All of these products that you need here. Now, the competition they have would be the donations, stuff coming from overseas, but some of the donations are going to come in the form of cash, and then that cash is going to be used to purchase stuff, right? So all of these things we need, right? So this shows their distribution kind of process. So I think this is gonna bode well for them. I think their products and services it's like they came to market at the right time, right? So I think they'll be one of those, highly sought after stocks for 2026. Again, let me do my usual, not a shareholder. I don't think I'll be a shareholder for this one either. Similar to Carib Cement. I don't think I'd be able to get the units that I want. All right. So usually I try to get a certain position, and if I can't, I'm not necessarily interested. And maybe it could have been built over time, but I have other things I'm focusing on. So I'm not a shareholder, but I don't know if that will change at some point in the future. But we'll see, right? But I do think they're going to be an integral part of the rebuild. I think they're going to finish the year strong. I think they're going to show significant growth on the Q4. They're going to do very well for the end of the year. I think their Q2 next year is going to be significantly better. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. And when I do the video, I'll explain further. I think Q2 is going to be very important for them. So Q2 is the one I'm watching for next year. That was my original projection, actually, when it came to market. I remember when we did the prospectus review in the challenge community, I remember saying to them that I would give Atlantic, maybe till Q2 next year to show any meaningful growth. And before the hurricane, I was right, because it was pretty much just kind of lagging on the IPO price for a long time, right? So the hurricane is the reason why you're seeing this growth here. So I think I still would have been right about that. And again, it goes further to why I'd like it for Q2 for next year. But again, I'll go into that another time. But this is certainly one of them that's going to be a part of the rebuild, right? So let me ask you guys a question here for you to tell me again before I share the third, right? So let me know which stocks you think are going to be important to Jamaica's rebuild. So we'll cover 2 stocks so far. We did Carib Cement, and then we did Atlantic Hardware. So because Tankwell doesn't need your money, sir. That's why they have a list, because they don't need your money, right? All right, I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back.
You love God, you give, you work hard. But deep down, you know your finances don't reflect the level of blessing you believe you should be walking in. You've read the verses about abundance and stewardship, but somehow, peace about money still feels out of reach. What if the missing piece is not more effort, but a deeper understanding of what God actually says about money? We've prayerfully created a program just for you. Financial Freedom in the Kingdom, a 9-week group coaching experience designed to transform your financial health through biblical truth. You'll learn a biblical money mindset, stewardship 101, budgeting and debt management, saving, investing, and the true meaning of financial freedom. Through video lessons, a powerful workbook, and an accountability group, you'll not only gain financial clarity, you'll also renew your confidence in God's plan for your money and your life. Join the waitlist today at learngrowinvestclub.com to be the first in line for our next cohort. It's time to align your faith and your finances and step into true financial freedom.
All right. So, Atlantic was the second one. So let me know, guys, in the chat. I know some of you shared already. So Chris says Carib Cement, Sagicor, and KW. Carice says Carib Cement for sure. Giovanni, I haven't seen you in a while, sir. Carib Cement, Atlantic, Omni, and Trans Jamaica. I'm not sold on Omni. Yet, but we'll see. Wigton, Carib Cement, and Cargo Handlers, interesting one. interesting one. I don't agree with the Wigton. I agree with you for the other two. Neil says I locked in Carib Cement and number from Melissa. So you're up now, sir. Congratulations. Carib Cement, KW and Atlantic. Michael, Penny, Cook. I think the share price is going to run up to about $300, and I'm anticipating a Orville. Okay, sir. All the best with that expectation. I'll leave you with that. I won't burst your bubble. All the best with that one. For sure. Guys, so tell me, what stocks do you think will be a part of Jamaica's rebuild? There are 61 persons here and only about 5 responses. Let me know before I share my last one. And let me see here. $13 likes. My gosh. All right. So, all right, let me share the third one. Rebuild. All right. So we're talking about rebuild. So we have the cement, we have the hardware. So the third one, I think, will be, yep, James, I'm actually inclined to agree with you, sir. The People's Bank, right? So I think the third one will be the People's Bank, right? So, so NCB, I think, certainly has had an interesting year. I think we're going to have some clarity around NCB in a couple of weeks. So we will see where things land, but certainly investors have been bullish on the stock over the last couple of days, right? Quite a number of units traded yesterday, half a million units. I think that was you, Orville. Orville bought, most of these shares yesterday, guys. Orville is, Orville only buys volume, right? So that must have been him. So year to date, down 13%. Month to date, 11% up. Week to date, 10% up, right? So it's interesting. Definitely a stock I do not own. I'm not a fan of uncertainty. And so with the uncertainty around the company, I haven't been a shareholder. But I would say once there's clarity come end of year or whenever the extension is, I don't remember. I think once certain clouds move away from the company, I think they'll be a part of the rebuild as well. I think banks will be a part of the rebuild. I think there'll be financing needed. And I think it actually bodes well for the finance sector in general, right? Because the finance sector to me was always going to be what to me would have signaled the recovery, right? So this rebuilding of the finance sector through them being integral in helping people rebuild, giving strategic loans, etc. I think will be something to look for. Now, whose dividend is small? They did 3 dividends this year, $1.50 divided by 44. They have a 3.4% yield, Travis. It's higher than most. Their dividend could be higher, sure, but it's still better than most. So yeah, if they did the one more, which I think they should have, but they did that one, that'd be 4.5%, but they did 4 last year, but only 3 this year. I think that's the only thing that made them not reach the 4.5% mark, right? So yeah, so NCB is the third one for me. Again, there are lots of other stocks I think will be good options for next year. I'm not going to share all of them. This is not the forum for it. Blessings Germain, Carib Cement stands to benefit most based on its complete monopoly on cement Jamaica. Andrew says Sagicor in this format. I do need to talk about Sagicor. I'll save that for another video. I have to find out if I'm allowed to talk about Sagicor. Let me do that first, because I do work at Sagicor. I'm going to find out if there's any problem with me talking about Sagicor first, and then I can do that video. Andrew says Salada. How so, sir? Explain that one for me. Explain the Salada. Kingston Wharfs. Any word on Dequity? Dequity closed. Let me check. I think I saw a notice about that they closed. I think I remember sharing the story. I got an email from VM. Let me find that email. Here we go. So it says, offer now closed. Thank you for standing out. The Dequity Capital Management IPO is officially closed. We extend our sincere application to all investors who seized the opportunity and stood out from the herd. So it has closed. All right. So that's the email I got today. I think everybody saw the post on social media as well. All right. So that's them. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So these are my 3 stocks that will be integral, I think, to the rebuild. Of course, lots of things to consider, right? If you were here from the start of the video, you'd remember me saying that I think next year will be an interesting year. I think you need to have a very clear investment strategy going into next year, because you have to kind of there are going to be some landmines, I think, next year. And so I think it's going to test how it's going to test your conviction as an investor, is what I'll say, right? I think the year may have some surprises. I think certainly we should get more than 2 IPOs next year, but we will see. I'm waiting to see the basis of allotment for Dequity. I want to see how it closes. West Indies Petroleum is listing next week. And let me see. There are 2 other listings that I know about. I can't tell you the names of them, of course. I'm not allowed to say anything that's not public information. I think we'll see those either close to end of January or early February. I can say that one of them is, can I say the industry? No, let me not say the industry. I want there to be any breadcrumbs. I see a question here. Why not Omni? They sell the same things. No, they do not. They sell similar things, not the same. One is a hardware, one is not. They sell zinc, which were all out when I called due to demand. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. I mean, well, hey, if you're bullish on Omni, sir, then they're right back to IPO price. So there would be your opportunity. So still down year to date, 27% quarter to date though. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to listen to you, sir, Giovanni, because I mean, if Giovanni mentions a company, you know, I have to look twice, right? Giovanni is not usually wrong, right, sir? All right, revenues year to date last year was 1.9 billion, 9 months 1.5. So I'm thinking they would need to do 425 million to surpass. They already did 587 here. So they should surpass what they did last year, but how much is the question? Profitability wise, let me see their 9 months. 9 months is 140, so they did less than last year. 2.5 billion shares outstanding, so their EPS stood at 0.05. Levine says Omni is the underdog. I mean, I love an underdog story. Renee will tell you for sure. So if you see them as the underdog, then I automatically have to start rooting for them. So we'll see. We'll see. We can stick up in here, Giovanni, and we'll talk about it a year from now. So when I'm doing my year in review for next year, we will see, right? But their last Q profit went up definitely 58 million from 37. That is significant. So 140 for the year, but still down 9 months. So they're headed in the right direction for sure. Either way, they would have still surpassed what they did last year. I mean, so let me do the same thing that I did for click here to view the prospectus, and it does not work. Where am I? I'm clicking, it's not working. Amazon Web Services. This is the, okay. They have a major contract with NWC. So Giovanni, you're buying into this like you were buying into Cygnus a few years ago? Tell me. If you tell me yes, then that'd be a bullish sign. Tell me. I'm going straight to their products. That's where I'm going. Today's Omni is Jamaica's largest manufacturer of industrial packaging products such as plastics, buckets, and crates that also manufactures an array of other items such as garden hoses, plastic houseware products, and zinc roofing. Okay. Okay. Because I mean that means you're not bullish on it, sir. Means you're not bullish on it. All right. Information about the company. I'm looking for products and services. Here we go. PVC pipes and fittings, hardware products. You are correct then, sir. Hardware products. Houseware, over 200 products. Industrial packaging, general. I don't know what general is. Specific products include but are not limited to roofing, cast iron fittings, duct pipes, electrical conduits, flower pots, garden hoses, storm drain pipe, industrial containers, PVC. Okay. All right. So I agree with you then, sir. I agree with you. They have pictures of everything. Check their website as well. Oh, okay. I did the prospectus. I love when my videos turn up on the first page. That's a good sign. Omni Industries website. All right. Not to mention they're also exporting on the new contracts. The CRC them craving a new market. Carving. I hope you meant carving. You wrote craving though. New market for themselves, not just locally. At the same time, they actually manufacture their own products. So that's a major plus. I agree with you. I mean, Orville, he was saying it on. Wasn't he saying it on Twitter? I'm not stating his business that is not already public information. Okay, I only speak what's public. I think Omni needs to update their website, by the way, if this is their website. But let me look past that right now. PVC pipes and fittings, cast irons. Is this the right website or is there an updated one? Giovanni, is this their updated website? Say.com or say.org. Is it this one? Okay. Oh, so they probably had, this was probably their older website. This one says .org. Why would you have a .org when you are a for-profit company? I'll send a nudge to them about that. Let me check products here. Hardware stuff, door locks, faucets, general hardware supplies. Okay, cool. That's good to see. Okay, all of the stuff here. Okay, I see it then. So, all right, throw them on there. Add them to the list then. So, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll put an asterisk beside them. Add them to the list. All right, so audience recommended. All right. Underdog. Okay. I see you. Okay. All right. So let me see where Omni will be. Let me see where Omni will be. They made a loss Q4 last year, but okay. Underdog for sure. 26,000 units traded today. Let me go check that. Let me go check that Q. Something interesting I found out the other day, but man, I need to have a meeting with our community. Let me see if this still works. That was me logging in with my retinal thing that did not work because I think the camera is being used. Okay, I thought I was wondering if that would work or not. It didn't work. Oh wow, okay. All right. Let's see the queue for Omni. I'm not seeing. So somebody says underdog. I'm not seeing a lot of demand on this queue, sir. Not seeing a lot of demand. And I'm not saying the price won't move, but you have some orders on the sell side here. So person's waiting for, 5%, 6% from where it is now. I'm not seeing heavy demand on the buy side. All right, 21 orders to buy. So I mean, definitely an underdog right now. There's not much demand. Let's see what that looks like for Carib Cement. Certainly looks a little different. I mean, the price is different. That's why you're gonna see smaller numbers there, but you're seeing a lot more orders at closer price points. And you see the difference in orders here. You have 129 orders for Carib Cement and about 20 we saw a while ago for Omni. Carib Cement has some nice volumes too. Okay. The Orville's. So where's your $300 sell order? I think not. Oh wow, this could really actually go. I think, yeah, I'm thinking $200 for Carib Cement by end of next year. So we'll see. Last one I'll look at is Atlantic. Some demand. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me see here. Looks like Orville selling at 250. Is that you, Orville? But here's the thing, Giovanni. If persons aren't aware of what they do, that if you aren't aware from a customer perspective, that means you probably won't sell it either. You understand what I'm saying there? So if I'm not aware that if I need the products and I'm not aware that the company sells it, I'm not gonna go there to buy it, right? Yeah. So I mean, there's not a lot of units. Like if Orville comes to buy like 5 million units tomorrow, it'll probably clear out the queue, right? So All right. Let me move on. Yeah, I think that's it. 5 minutes to go. So soon enough, it's in the shadows of the others mentioned, but we'll see. We will see. I'm rooting for them. A good friend of mine is a part of the team in terms of helping them with PR and marketing. So I'd certainly wish for them to do well. Certainly for her sake. And so yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that's it. Did not give a timeline. Okay, fair enough, sir. Fair enough. All right, so let me see what other videos I have to do. I have a couple more videos to do, guys. Can I do another one now? Will you guys stay with me for the next hour? I have 3 more videos to do. I have a West Indies Petroleum video to do. I have a Dequity video to do. I have a 2026 portfolio video to do. And a dividend stocks video to do. Do I have the time? I wonder if I can knock out all 4 videos tonight. I can go live 2 more times. No, this is really late. I do have work tomorrow. Chris says he's here for the next hour. Guys, you don't work. You guys don't work. All right. Let me see here. Oh my gosh. Chris, I'm good, man. I'm a little bit under the weather, but me, if I end the stream, I'm just gonna go watch TV. So I'm good. Already took some Panadol. I took some vitamin C as well. Yeah. The person who posted this message, we will have a talk. You should be in bed. We're gonna have a talk. Remember Paramount Trading too. Ooh. I never is. Ah boy. Paramount Trading. Well, Paramount Trading saw some growth the other day. Nice. Down 12% year to date, month to date down 20%. Okay, they had 3 negative quarters, recovered Q3 and then did 70 million Q4. Announced a dividend recently. Okay, cool. So Paramount, what does Paramount provide here? I should know this. Okay, I don't want to go into another company right now for this video, so let me do this. I'm going to. Can I do one more video? Okay, I'll do it this way. If I can get, there are 73 persons on this stream. If I can get 70 likes for this video in the next 3 minutes, right? No, in the next minute and a half, right? 70 likes in the next minute and a half, and I will do another video, right? Karine, good to see you. So 70 likes in the next minute and a half. And let me show you what I'm seeing, by the way, so that you don't say I'm trying to scam you here. I'm going to show you what I see, right? So that you don't say I'm scamming you. So the video currently has 31 likes. There are 73 persons here. All right. Let me refresh. 32 likes. So in the next 30 seconds, because my timer in StreamYard is saying 59 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm going to refresh at an hour. And if we don't have the 70 likes, I will leave it here for tonight. All right. I know some of you probably probably listening while you're doing something. I get that, but reach over, like the video, and I'll do that. My only ask, right, is that you like the video. We're up to 38 likes. I said I would show you what I'm seeing so you don't think I'm lying here. We're live here, 38 likes, right? So we're at 41. Time is up, guys. Imran says he wants a piece of West Indies Petroleum. Then you can feel free to place your order. Place your order at $1.50, Imran, and you should be able to get some. All right, so time is up. Let me refresh. 41 likes. Somebody went ahead and dislike. That hurts. All right, so since somebody's here not really interested in me staying, we leave it there, guys. I will see you. I'm gonna go watch some TV. All right. So thanks for coming out, those who have. Thanks to those who liked the video. I appreciate you. Those who didn't like the video, I still appreciate you too. May the Lord bless you. Have a good holiday. So what I'll do, I wanted to do another video. I have more to say, clearly. So I'm gonna go live in the community. Now this is really late for that. I don't want everybody getting an email at 11:30. All right, guys, take care. Take care.
Does this sound like you? You bought into that IPO they told you was a good investment, and now you're down 20, 30, maybe even 40%. You try to buy the stocks they talk about in groups or on social media.
You've even taken a chance on the ones your advisor sends you via email.
But after 2 years, that IPO, that stock is still down.
There's a clear difference between investing and making a good investment decision. So if you're stuck, what you need to do is learn how to invest the right way.
In our Learn Level 2 program, we teach you how to build a $1 million investment portfolio. To make money investing, you need to know which stocks are right for your investment strategy, know when is the right time to buy and sell, and know how to build the right portfolio for your investment style. This program will help you invest meaningfully while making money. When you sign up, you'll get monthly guidance on how to invest and make money while doing it. You'll have a community of investors on the same journey as you to support you, and you'll have resources to help you stay on track. Join our 2026 cohort so you can get back on track with your financial goals.